Blog Talk Radio.
Well, listen, quickly, I want to get into this right away. So I was sitting here this morning doing my research, right? And I had a conflict. I had a conflict this morning. Because as you know, those of you who listen regularly, sometimes I will throw out there into the world, into the discussion, a topic or usually the name of somebody who's having a birthday. And I do my best to take those individuals who are having birthdays and their life experience and their story or the thing that makes them famous, and I do my best to connect the dot to what it is that we do here in the Traffic Authority. You know, the challenges that we face, the things that we celebrate, the community that we're building. And this morning I came face to face with a choice. Today is Seth MacFarlane's birthday. You know who he is? Family Guy. You know the Family Guy cartoons? Don't you just love the Family Guy cartoons? Aren't they the best? They really are the best. And there's so much truth. The reason that cartoon show is so good is because it's kind of like The Simpsons. There's so much truth. And then I look further down the list, and I realize that there's another superhero who was born on this day. Another superhero. And so I couldn't decide which of these two superheroes were more relevant to our experience. So the one I chose to discuss this morning is, of course, the one who set the pace for all of us. Everyone here in Free Enterprise knows this guy's name. Of course, I'm speaking about Napoleon Hill. Today is Napoleon Hill's birthday. The famous Napoleon Hill, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the things he said and about his life in a moment. I'm going to get to that in a moment. But everybody knows about Think and Grow Rich. Is it possible to just think and grow rich? Well, I would say that it's improbable that you will just think and grow rich, because it does take action. It does take the words of Napoleon Hill and the thoughts of Napoleon Hill and the experience of Napoleon Hill and put those in play and taking daily disciplined action, and the results that you will have will be off the hook. Today, when we're done with today's radio show, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to post something I found about Napoleon Hill. In Napoleon Hill, his own story is such an interesting story. We all know about the Think and Grow Rich side of it, about the books. The other day I was talking about a book called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Guys, he's iconic, right? The best Napoleon Hill book I ever read, though, was the biography of Napoleon Hill. His personal story. What drove him? How did he come up with this information? What was it that he did that qualified him to write these words in the book, Think and Grow Rich? And this thing I'm going to be posting this morning, it's straight out of Success Magazine. Watch for this on Facebook after today's radio show. It's right out of Success Magazine. And they say that it was Napoleon Hill and his writings and his teachings that is the foundation of Success Magazine itself. So in the article, The Story of Napoleon Hill, Rich Man, Poor Man, I'm just going to read to you the very first sentence, okay? The very first sentence, and then I'm going to move on. And we'll come back later to Napoleon Hill. But here's the very first sentence, okay? It says this, quote, "The greatest achievers say that in a lifetime of setbacks and comebacks, the truest sense of accomplishment is not found in the realization of the goal, but rather in the will to continue when failure breeds doubt." Boom shakalaka. I added that. That's the boom shakalaka, that's added as emphasis. The greatest achievers say that in a lifetime of setbacks and comebacks, the truest sense of accomplishment is not found in the realization of the goal, but rather in the will to continue when failure breeds doubt. I love that. All right, well, listen, good morning and welcome, everybody. I've already been rambling on here for 5 minutes. For those of you who are peeking through the keyhole, wondering what the heck are you listening to, why are you here, welcome, good morning. Right now you are listening to Traffic Report. We come to you live every single morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right now we are streaming live on the internets. Anybody in the world, anybody in the universe who has an internet connection can listen to us live right here, right now. This thing that we do here every single morning, this is kind of like the virtual water cooler for our ever-expanding, ever-growing traffic authority universe. I did the research over the weekend. 27 countries are plugging into us around the world here this morning. Well, not maybe this morning, but 27 countries have representatives. Okay, let's be totally transparent. There are traffic authority representatives in 27 countries right now, and many of them are listening live. And so if you're listening live right now, welcome and congratulations, especially to those of you who are brand spanking new. And give yourself 3 big points. You know, we're in the second week of the Halloween $20,000 giveaway. The contest, we're giving away prizes, we're giving away cash, we're giving away Apple Watches and MacBook Pros, and it's really, really cool. It's very simple. All you got to do is do the thing that you would have to do anyway to have the results. You do those things, you get points, you get your name in the hat, and boom, you have a shot at winning. Like just last week, we had people winning who've only been here for a very short time, 30 days or less. The interesting thing, of the 5 winners, 3 of them came from the same group, the same organization. In that organization, that sales organization, you hear Rebecca, she's the front of that organization, comes out here every once in a while. That is all about, that group is all about the Napoleon Hill concept of think and grow rich and visualization and taking the action. So if you're joining us, brand spanking new, very first time, welcome to our community. I officially am going to give you the title of Ninja. You know, Traffic Authority, I think there's almost 20,000 of us now in the VIP Facebook group. Okay, so there are traffic authority representatives, and there are resellers, and there are traffic optimizer certified persons, and then there are traffic academy members, and then we have people who are premium resellers. They've upgraded to premium. And then we have the ninjas, and that's this group who comes every single day and shares their enthusiasm and shares their stories and support each other. And when we get to a live event, I am going to have a special gift for you ninjas. As you're walking through the crowd, as you're walking through the thousands of people who will be joining us at our very first live event, you will stand above the rest because the ninjas will have something that will identify them. I'm going to save that. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, but I know who you are, ninjas, and you're going to get something very, very cool. All right. A couple other things I want to talk about this morning. Okay, my name is Joe. For those of you who are listening for the first time, as I said, every day, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And attention, those of you who live in Arizona and some parts of Indiana, attention, daylight savings time. I think it's next Sunday we go back to regular old time. So that means I don't have to come to the radio show till 9 o'clock because, and the rest of yous, that's how they talk on the south side of Chicago. The rest of yous guys in Arizona, remember that we no longer will be in the Pacific time zone effective the 1st of November. We'll be in the Mountain time zone. But we'll be here nonetheless at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, regardless of where it is that you live in the world. Make sure that you put it on your schedule. And we do have a schedule. We do have something called RadioLeverageLive.com, RadioLeverageLive.com. That's our calendar. Put it on your toolbar. You see, we have the webinars. We have a webinar tomorrow night, reseller training. Going to be some cool stuff there. Thursday night, of course, we have another. It's a prospecting webinar. You can actually send an invite from the calendar. Go check out the calendar. There's phone numbers there. There's contact information. There's URLs there. Very, very cool. So that's where we are. Make sure that you be here and give yourself 3 points, right? In the contest, some of you guys actually saw this morning on Facebook. I posted the worksheet for today, okay, the daily marketing plan. I know some of you guys liked it because it is way better than the morning newspaper. Just read it, go through it. You're going to learn some stuff. So you got 5 points there. You get 3 points here. By showing up here today, you get 3 more. At the end of today's radio broadcast, I'm going to urge you to go and post on Facebook what you learned here today, how you feel about what's going on today, and give yourself 5 points. I think then, is that how you get 11 points? Someone correct me, right? It's 5, 3, and 3. That's our 11. That's how we get to 11 every single day. But who cares? Just do the thing and get the results, okay? As I was thinking this morning about this Napoleon Hill stuff and some of the things he said that were so profound, I was going over the daily marketing plan today. And on the daily marketing plan, one of the first things, okay, if you go through the daily marketing plan, okay, the daily marketing plan has welcome to the daily marketing plan. Step number 1 is listen to the daily company call. You're here. Congratulations. Step 2, join our private Facebook group. Are you there? Are you in the private Facebook group? If you've yet to join, you can go there at easy.com/TAFB group. Register for the next training webinar, which you can do. We're going to be posting that later today. And then I also looked at the very next thing on the list, going down the list. Before you start your marketing, you need to create a goal. I know there's so much bandied about goal setting. You got to have them goals. Set your goals. It's almost like easy to overlook, right? Yeah, what's your goal? My goal is to lose 10 pounds or whatever. My goal is to stay away from the French fries at least until Wednesday, whatever. My goal is to, not eat a pizza because I'm dying for a pizza. I can eat it for breakfast. Had it for breakfast yesterday, actually. We're talking about something completely different here. We're talking about a gigantic vision for yourself. That's really what we're talking about when we talk about goals, setting a goal. And a lot of time is given to this thing about what is your big income goal. And I love that this was put together by Adam and a team of geniuses. They know how to write this kind of stuff. And I love this, okay? He says, perhaps your reason, I'll start at the beginning. And this is right there on today's daily marketing plan. The question, what is your big income goal? How much do you want to earn from this business? Why do you want to earn that much? Be very specific. There are no right or wrong answers. It's your answer. Be very, very specific. Don't just say you want money or I want to buy a motorcycle. What you really want to earn more money for. What is it that you really want? What is it that you really want? Perhaps your reason why is more romantic. Maybe you want to take your spouse on that honeymoon that you never had. Maybe you want to pay for your child's dental braces so they don't get picked on at school. You may be saving up for a new car, condo, or boat. Regardless of your reasons, make sure you are crystal clear on why you want to make money, because that is the reason that will drive you to hit your goals in the business. And then there's a video here. Okay, there's a video that shows you how to break down your income goal, and there's a formula. If you look into your member back office, there is a formula there, okay, that will show you a bit more about this concept. But I want to share with you what Napoleon Hill says. A couple of things he said, and this is really, really cool. I want you to write this one down, or you don't have to, but this is one of the things that Napoleon Hill said this morning when I was reading his quotes. This is one that I hadn't seen before. He says, big pay and little responsibility are circumstances seldom found together. Okay? Big pay and little responsibility are circumstances seldom found together, is what Napoleon Hill says. Pretty profound, huh? Big pay, big dreams, big vision, big goals. You can put anything in there. Big goals and little responsibility are circumstances seldom found together. Big dreams and little responsibility are circumstances seldom found together. You can put whatever you want in there, right? What he's saying here is that when it comes to achieving your dream, when it comes to achieving your goal, when it comes to, building that business, when it comes to owning that home, when it comes to parenting, when it comes to being a better spouse, okay? Big dreams, big vision, big goals, big ambition, big desire, big focus, and little responsibility are circumstances seldom found together. I think he's to cut right to the quick, right underneath the fingernail line, right? What he's saying is, if it's to be, it is up to me. If you want to make those things come true, if you want to live that life, if you want to actually do the thing, then you're going to have to be responsible for taking the action to achieving the result. And the other thing he said, and there's like so many pages of quotes. If you do the research on Napoleon Hill, you'll be blown away. Another thing he said, and this is kind of like married to this concept of big pay and little responsibility are circumstances seldom found together. The other thing he said, well, one of the many things he said is, there is one quality which one must possess to win, and that is definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what one wants, and a burning desire to possess it. Napoleon Hill, what a guy, huh? And it's so true. It is so true, everything he says here. You know, I've got some things that I want to accomplish in the short term. Came face to face with some opportunity just over the last 48 hours, which is going to require big mission, big vision, big work, big focus, big visualization, living with the dream, living with the goal 24/7. You see, when you attach yourself to the goal, when you attach yourself to what your outcome really is, when you attach yourself to really what it is that you want to accomplish, it's just a matter of prioritizing, making a decision, and then getting it done. I got frustrated over the weekend, in addition to the big goal that I set for myself. And here was my frustration. I have a very good friend who I was attempting to get a hold of via text message and telephone. And this individual, I know, whenever I spend time with this person, this individual always has that cell phone. It's like an appendage, right? It's like a finger. It's like the arm. It's like the cell phone is always there. And so when attempting to get a hold of this person, I know this person has their cell phone because whenever I have seen them over the last 6 years, that cell phone is attached like glue. So I realize if I'm not getting a response, it's a deliberate decision that was made by this individual. It was a deliberate decision. They know that I'm attempting to get a hold of them, or else their arm is cut off because that phone is always in their hand. So I came to the realization that in life, it's all about choice, really. 24 hours in a day. That's the one thing that every single one of us has in common. Across the board, every single one of us, if we're living, talking, breathing on earth, we all have 24 hours in the day. Period. End of story. So it's about the decision. It's about the choice that you make. What are you going to do with those 24 hours? Who are you going to engage with? Who are you going to communicate with? You only have 24 hours, so use them wisely. I realize then it's all about choice. For me personally, okay, I've got a big goal. I want to accomplish a big goal. So as I move through every single day, it's about choice. Every single minute, it's about what am I going to do at this moment to bring me closer to the goal, because I'm either moving closer to it or I'm sliding away from it. That's it. Those are the only two choices. When you're building your business, you're only gaining lift, you're only building, or you're declining. You're only in momentum moving forward, or there's nothing static, right? Or you're moving back. When it's about accomplishing your goal, whatever that goal is. Here in the Traffic Authority, you want to build a business, you want to actually start developing your list. We've been given some of the best training you can ever imagine, haven't we? Okay, we've got people here. Did you hear Greg Chambers on Saturday talking about this very thing, about discipline, making a decision, moving towards the goal? Greg Chambers was talking about this. I went to school on Greg Chambers this last week. And I'm older than Greg Chambers, and he's giving me a whooping, boy, when it comes to making decisions and being disciplined, and it's all about that choice, isn't it? So as we move here in the Traffic Authority, we've only got 24 hours in a day. Each and every one of us, we're on equal footing. And this is like, let's all of us consider us like we're newbies here. We're newborns. This is our first rodeo. And we're given specific things to do. Specific things to do. Every single day, go through your daily marketing plan. Even if you've already read it before, you probably will see something new there every single day. It's a choice. I can either watch the madness that is on the news, whether it's MSNBC, Fox, your local news station. It's all the same. I can tell you what you're going to see. I can tell you what you're going to hear. So you make a choice every single day. What are you going to do? Is you're having your morning beverage, you're having your tea, you're having your coffee. Are you going to dig into something that's going to really nourish your spirit, nourish your soul? Or are you going to just get there, listen to the news, and allow that? It's like a melting candle, right? I mean, you listen to the news, and after 20 minutes, you wonder, why is your face looking so long? You look like Deputy Dog, right? Listen to the news, and then go look in the mirror, and you'll see a puss on you that's just drowned down, scared, fear, fire, death, drowning, murder, car accidents, right? That's all you hear. No wonder we walk through the life like zombies, right? No wonder so many people are just out there lifeless. responding. The other thing I noticed yesterday, I was watching football, right? It was like an assault, advertising, right? I was watching a game, and I was like, well, this is a good game. I haven't watched an actual football game in a while, and I'm a fan. And there was a commercial, so I flipped to another game, and there was a commercial. And then I went to the NFL network to catch up, and it was a commercial. And then I went to the hockey network because I like hockey, and it was a commercial. And it was an assault. It was a full-on assault on my senses. My eyes, my ears, everything was selling me. I was like, oh, man, it's driving me nuts. I turned the TV off. I'd rather read. What are we doing with the minutes that we have each and every day? I promise you, if you get busy with your traffic authority business, and we've been given instructions, we've been told what it takes to be successful here. We've been told that we have to plug in, go into the daily marketing plan. We've been told to show up to hear from this group of individuals. In a minute, we'll hear from who knows how many people. I'm looking in the queue. I can't even count all of you that have pressed 1 who want to jump into the fray. We've been told, we've been taught by Darren, right, the email expert. All right, the email expert, if you are a Traffic Academy member, told you exactly what you have to do each and every day. Each and every day to actually monetize your list and connect with people every single day, what you have to do. We've been told that traffic is a requirement if you want to build a list. Now, many of you know how to build a list. If you're plugged in, if you're a premium member, if you've actually upgraded to premium, there's some specific training in there on how do you build a list on Facebook without spending a nickel. It's in there. It's there. I had a meeting this Saturday. It was a killer meeting. Douglas Wellens and myself, we met with a couple of people who are just brilliant, crushing it, developing leads in other areas. And we're going to be introducing them very, very soon within the next couple of weeks into the Academy. So my point is that we've been told exactly what to do. And sometimes people have microwave results. Sometimes, boom shakalaka, it just happens. Because they have the rhythm, they have the feeling, they're into it, they're only positive, they only see the upside. That really makes a big difference. You know, if you're feeling like crap, if you're feeling like, oh man, okay, there's that guy Joe telling me again I've got to write an email. All right, I'll write an email. And if that's your issue, if that's your attitude, that's what you're sending through your fingertips, man. And I'm sure your email is like not the most bright, positive, uplifting email, unless, of course, you want to connect with a bunch of other, I don't know, Deputy Dog. Remember the cartoon character Deputy Dog with the long face? But you get what I'm saying. You know, we all have the same 24 hours in the day. How are we going to use them? Who are we going to connect with? Because it's all about your decision, your choice. What I have found in life is that the most difficult things, the things that we resist the most, burn at us, and they sit with us. We get up in the morning, and you got to send that email. You got to make that phone call. There's something that you're just dreading. Get that one out of the way first, and watch how your energy shifts throughout the course of the day. So Napoleon Hill, a great guy. Love Napoleon Hill stuff. His own personal story is the most magnificent story of all. The roller coaster that he lived on, the life that he lived. The Napoleon Hill story is the greatest of all of the stories around Napoleon Hill. Get a hold of his biography. I've read it before. It's amazing who this guy is and the decisions that he made and what he did to come to pull this material together. All right, so here's what I'm going to do right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking people off mute. Now, here's the drill, okay? For those of you guys who have been patient enough to be sitting here as I ramble on for the 23 minutes, this is kind of like a test, okay? What I'm going to do right now, though, is I'm going to say the last 4 digits of your telephone number, and I'm going to pull you out here, right? I'm going to say the last 4 digits of your phone number, and then I want you to come out and say your first name, the city, state, or the country that you're calling from, and then just let it rip. Just let it rip. Couple rules I want to put out here. The first rule is that you are aware of all the tools that we have. Okay, if you have a question, a technology question, this has to do with your technology, with your websites, please, I'm going to ask you to send in a support ticket. Send in to support@trafficauthority.net. Now, on Saturday, we met Abby. If you remember Abby, she came out on Saturday. Last week, we had Jody here. This last Saturday, we had Abby, and she's kind of like the head of the customer service department. And she says that a support ticket right now is like, we're about 48-hour turnaround. There's still several hundred in the queue. And the reason the queue is so big is because some people are sending in ticket after ticket after ticket, right? So it's just, we talked about that on Saturday. But my point is, if you have an issue, please send it in to the support desk. Secondly, we have all that video content there. I see Facebook all the time. People say, what do I do next? I just got started. I'm like, well, did you watch the videos? No, I don't have time. Well, can't help you. The videos are there so that you can get your questions answered. The videos are there so that anybody who joins you in business has the benefit of the best training, the latest up-to-date training. So if you've watched the videos and you still have a question, send in a support ticket. And I know some of you are going to come in here with a question today. I know that you are. I know people say, Joe, thank you. I love the radio show. I want to thank Gilbert. I want to thank Mountain Man. But I do have a question. I love it. I can feel it. I can smell it, right? And then whenever people are really nice, and then all of a sudden it's like, but I do have a question. So if you're one of those guys, please keep your question to a minimum, and we'll do our best to handle it here this morning. We do have some overflow. I do have a plug. I'm dialed right in, right to the main house. Let's see. This is amazing. I can't believe it. I will get to this. Okay. All right. Here's what I got to say to you guys then. I'm going to say the last 4 digits of your telephone number. You tell me the city, state, or country you're calling in from, and we'll get to you. Please keep it bright. Please keep it brisk. If you're listening online right now at radioleverage.com, thank you for listening. Give yourself 3 points for listening. Boom shakalaka. If you do want to make a comment or ask a question, please pick up your telephone and dial into 914-338-0631. You'll hear a very lovely British female welcome you, and she will tell you if you would like to speak with the host, press 1 on the keypad of your telephone. Press 1 on the keypad. Now, for those of you who are in the queue, there's a bunch of you. Please pay attention, because it breaks my heart sometimes that I take someone off mute and they're not paying attention, and they've been waiting for 20, 30 minutes in the queue. And all of a sudden, they don't get a turn because, for whatever reason, their attention has been diverted. And while you guys are sitting here listening this morning, playing this radio show in the background, why don't you go and post some stuff on Facebook? Why don't you send something to your email list? Why don't you remind people that we're doing this radio show? Or maybe send an invite to the Thursday. You don't have to wait until Wednesday to send an invitation for the Thursday webinar. That webinar on Thursday is taking place, and you can send an invitation to that webinar. Feel free. As a matter of fact, it's still playing there. All right, here we go. Let's get it started. 5649, you're first up. Good morning.
Good morning, Joel. It's Bert from Canyon Lake, California.
Bert, you are Mr. Patient. You've been here for a long time. How are you today?
Oh, just great. That was great. The first 20 minutes, you usually come on with words of inspiration. You're quite a wordsmith.
Thank you, sir.
I did not know that there was a biography of Napoleon Hill. I'm going to have to pick up that book. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to take a couple of minutes here to share what I've been learning over the weekend. I've learned that traffic authority is actually helping us ninjas, in different ways. And Eric Worre, who wrote the book, that's W-O-R-R-E, wrote the book Go Pro, mm-hmm. had a 3-day seminar last month, 14th, 15th, and 16th of October. And his mission is to change the marketing profession for the better. Mm-hmm. Not to perfect it, but to make it for the better. And I looked at the different things that they were teaching in this seminar, in this live event. And it's what traffic authority teaches. Mm-hmm. It's what we're learning every day on these calls. And some of these things that we're learning and what Eric Worre was teaching in this live event were the different skills that you need. Of course, we get that through Traffic Academy. $1 Million Mindset, which we get through Traffic Academy, and every day on this radio talk show. A game plan and strategies for success, which we get every day in our emails. Inspiration, credibility, validation, and a safe, generic environment.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm quite. It's just amazing how everything's coming together. And then I also have 3 online mentors: Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, and Bob Proctor. Google them.
Mm-hmm.
We ninjas need to learn from these giants in our business. They teach us about mindset. Tony Robbins teaches about immersion. Immerse
Mm-hmm.
yourself in what you want to learn. And by coming to this radio talk show every day, we're immersing ourselves in the mindset, in the proper mindset. Tony Robbins talks about act now. You need to act now on something that is potentially giving you the right mindset and skills to do this business. He talks about transforming from being a chess piece to being a chess player, from being a chess piece to being a chess player. Get his book, Money, Master the Game. That's his latest book.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't written one in 20 years because we're going to be making a lot of money. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to be making some money, and some of us are already making a lot of money, more than we've ever made before. Robert Kiyosaki and his wife Kim, they talk about business ownership, and business owners are taxed the least. And the ideal business that Robert Kiyosaki talks about is just what we're doing,
Mm-hmm.
direct sales. Bob Proctor talks about the paradigm shift that we should make, because paradigms actually dictate how and what we think about. So we're in the right environment with Traffic Authority. We're getting the right skills and the right mindset. So with that, Joe, I'm going to listen in on some of the pearls that the ninjas call in for. And God bless you, Joe, and a virtual kiss on the forehead for Carly Rose.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bert checking in this morning from beautiful Canyon Lake. And Eric Worre is the name of the gentleman that you mentioned there. Anybody who was wondering about Eric Worre, his book, GoPro, is a must-have. It is one of my favorites as a professional networker, not multi-level marketer, as a networker, as somebody who is about networking and helping others. It is a must-have. Eric Worre says it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good you are or how productive you are or how much money you're making. What matters is whether your team can duplicate. That's what matters, is can other people do it. And here at Traffic Authority, this is plug and play. This is color. This is like connect the dots. This is color by numbers here. 5232, you're next up in the queue. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe, and to all the other TA leaders and all of the other ninjas on the call. This is Holly calling from Los Angeles, California. How are you?
I'm great, Holly. How are you today?
I am well, thank you. I am well. So really quickly, my billing issue that I had is resolved, except I'm continuing to get basically failed notifications for the payment. And when Greg was on the call last, the payment is not actually going to go through until November 6th.
Mm-hmm.
So I logged into my back office this morning, and I wanted to see if I could transfer the money from my e-wallet to my checking account, and that option is not available to me right now.
And I don't.
The reseller portion, that's not an option that's actively available to me right now. It was as of yesterday, but yesterday was Sunday, so obviously TA was closed in Tallahassee. So maybe that's the issue. Maybe it's like all connected by the 6th for sure. Well before then, it'll be resolved.
Well,
the new card that I'm using for all the payments to come off of.
All right. Well, I'm not really clear. So you put in a new credit card, so your payment runs on November 6th. That's one thing. And now you're also saying that you're attempting to transfer money from your e-wallet into some place, a bank account on your e-wallet credit card. That's a separate issue, right? That's a separate issue.
Correct, right. That's a,
okay.
That's
all right,
a separate issue because I saw it pending, so I went to change it. But then that was yesterday. Now today, when I click on the reseller tab in my back office, it's not actively available to me. It's not readily available anymore. It was as of yesterday, but it's not available now.
All right, Holly, thank you very much. I sent the support ticket in on your behalf.
Oh,
and if I hear something before the end of today's radio show, I'll let you know. Thank you very much, Holly, for chiming in from L.A. I want to say 5691. You're next up in the queue. Good morning.
Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning, Joe. It's Steve Schumacher in Portland, Oregon.
Good morning, Steve. How are you today?
I'm doing well, actually. It's actually I'm very hopeful this week. This may be kind of a sad thing to some folks, but it's pretty good to me. I have a job interview Thursday, and my only mentality is that if I get this job, I can buy more traffic. I can buy more expensive traffic.
There you go, Steve.
That's really kind of what I'm thinking about. Yeah. So I'm kind of excited, and leads are continuing to go. The issue that I talked about last week, I think has been resolved, even though my traffic optimizer, my link does not show traffic flowing. It is flowing. I am continuing to get leads in. So I'm kind of excited. Big shout out to Carlos, Mountain Man, and everybody else.
Thank you very much, Steve. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Steve has a job interview this week. And it is kind of a sad thing. I personally am psychologically unemployable. I'm damaged goods, man. Whenever I've had to work a job in my life, I'm unmanageable. I just can't control my stuff. I'm psychologically unemployable. And good morning, all ones, number one. Is it number one across the board? Good morning. Is this Frank?
This is Frank from beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The sun is shining, and it's a great day to play in traffic. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Frank. How are you today? What's going on, man?
Fantastic. I'm blessed and highly favored. Joe, you were talking about Napoleon Hill, and that brought back some memories. I'm 66 years young, and when I was about 19 years old, my dad threw me a book. Now, I don't know what the significance of that was, but he threw it at me. He didn't hand it to me. He threw this book at me. I might have been complaining or crying, I don't know. But he threw this book at me, and it was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I opened up the book, and I looked at it, and I said, Dad, the copyright on this is, 1937. What good is that today? Well, nonetheless, I read the book. I absorbed the book. I brought it into my being, and I lived by the concepts and the precepts of that book, in addition to living by the concepts and the precepts of the Bible. Then, when my son came along, and he was about 19 years old, he was belly aching about one thing or another. I don't remember what it was. I didn't throw it at him. I handed him the book, and I said, this is the story. And I told him that exact same story. And I said, it meant a world of good for me. Please read it. So what I'm going to recommend is, like you said, Joe, everyone who hasn't read that book, it's such a basic book, and it's such an easy read. You ought to, by the way, the one I gave to my son was a paperback. The one my dad gave was hardbound. So they're available today. You can get them online. And you can even get used copies of them for like $2 or $3. So I would suggest to everybody out there who wants to be a true traffic ninja is to get that book and just read it, because it's so good.
It's the foundation, isn't it? I mean, he was like you said, it was back in the 1930s that it was published, and it's like the foundation of all of this success stuff. We heard this morning, the names Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, Bob Proctor. We hear all of these individuals, and I think the genesis of this whole all of these guys, all of this personal development stuff, Success Magazine, The Slight Edge, Success Built to Last, go down the list, right? The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity, The Traveler's Gift, all of this stuff, I think, has its foundation in Think and Grow Rich, quite frankly. That's interesting, Frank. I'm really, really, I love the fact that your father actually threw that book to you. That's awesome. And there's another one out.
I don't know the significance of why he threw it at me, but I must have been belly aching or something.
Yeah, right. I remember one time, walking out after getting a haircut, and I felt something hit me in the back of the head, and it was a quarter. It was my change thrown at me by the barber because the haircut was so bad. But I'm just kidding. I thought you'd appreciate that. But listen, all right, Frank, one last thing I want to say. Thank you very much. There's Frank checking in from beautiful Myrtle Beach. All right, one last thing I want to say quickly is, in addition to Think and Grow Rich, one of the best sales training books I have ever come across. And I'm telling you, get your hands on this book. You can read it, and it'll take you 20 minutes. And everything that you have to know about sales, everything that you have to know about sales is in this book. Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. And you think I'm kidding. Green Eggs and Ham. It's the story of 2 creatures, right? And one creature knows that the green eggs and ham is something that is going to empower and make the other guy's life better in Green Eggs and Ham. Remember the whole story? The one guy is trying to sell the green eggs and ham, and he is relentless. He refuses to be, nothing will get in his way, because he knows that green eggs and ham is going to be a benefit to the other guy, right? Sam I Am, right? Sam I Am. I think Sam I Am is that's the only name in the book, and that's the creature that will not take the green eggs and ham. Sam I Am. I will not eat them in a plane. Read Green Eggs and Ham, and you will see at the end of the book when Sam I Am finally said, "Okay, I'm gonna put my guard down. I'm just gonna try these green eggs and ham." And then Sam I Am became the greatest. He just loved green eggs and ham, and he became a promoter of green eggs and ham. And the other guy just wore him down with consistently approaching, sending email. If it was living in the real world, if he was living in this day and age, he'd be using email and texting. Green Eggs and Ham. I'm telling you, man. Check it out. Excellent sales training book. 9190, you're next up.
Oh, it's just an awesome blessing to be here. This is Earl Teets, the Mountain Man out of Troy, Montana. And it's funny you say Green Eggs and Ham and Think and Grow Rich. They were the first book I ever read in my life was Green Eggs and Ham.
Do you see the relevance there? Could you see that is a great sales training
Absolutely.
book about consistency, resilience, belief, right? The creature, he believed, he knew, you couldn't deny. He would not be denied that Green Eggs and Ham were good, right? His conviction, his belief, his will was so strong. And he just persevered and persevered and persevered, and the next thing you know, I love Green Eggs and Ham, man.
To tie that together, every action ties to an emotion. Mm-hmm. You feel it. And then when you look at Think and Grow Rich, it's just artwork. Think and Grow Rich. I can't remember. I think it's 56 or 58. Life's battles don't always go to the bigger or faster man. But sooner or later, the one who wins is the one who thinks they can. That's what Think and Grow Rich. I'll never forget that. And it's so important. And then when you tie that down with Eric Worre's Go Pro, and you master those 7 skills to 7 figures, which is going to be our lead magnet in November. We're going to do webinars, 7 of them, record them, and have the 7 skills available to anybody that wants to listen to it. So, these kind of things are the little things that are so important to your success. And if you don't take the little things, if you're a mountain man or you're a manly man and you think men don't read, it's the wimps that don't read. The muscle that you need to develop is the one between your ears, and you'll never do that unless you read. And those books are probably the best tools that you could ever get your hands on outside of the Bible to show you the basic principles to success. And then you get on these calls, this radio leverage show every day, and it hammers every principle in all those books. the mastermind principle, people together to accomplish one cause. And when everybody realizes the family we have here at Traffic Authority, if you just grab that daily marketing plan, plug into the mastermind ability that you got on a daily basis, believe in yourself to take the next action when you're not in the mood, you're going to see miracles happen in your business. And I just praise God for finding Traffic Authority, and I thank you for being here, Joe. And God bless all of you.
And thank you very much. Mountain Man, you sound great today, man. Thank you very much for chiming in here. One of our top leaders, quite frankly, is Earl from Montana. And Earl, you said a lot there, bro. You really did. I think that you've said it all. Absolutely. And this Napoleon Hill guy, and you know, one thing I do want to comment, Napoleon Hill, what did he say? The very first thing I said this morning, the greatest achievers say that in a lifetime, now this is the greatest achievers, right? The people who accomplish the most, the greatest achievers, say that in a lifetime of setbacks and comebacks, right? Setbacks and you got to come back, right? How many times, and I think you mentioned it, Mountain Man, about having your back against the wall, right? You accomplished something great. You've had something really, really happen in your life. And then suddenly there's a setback. That's happened to me. I've gone from, you want to talk about from the penthouse to the outhouse. That has happened to me, okay? So then there's setbacks, and you get the setback, and then there's the comeback, okay? You got to come back, right? You got a setback. You got responsibilities, and you got to get up off the mat. You got to dust yourself off. You got to do it again. You got to recreate. You got to go do it. We're entrepreneurs. We don't work for a living, man. We work, but we don't work for a living. We don't serve another master unless it's the creator, right? We're out there making it happen. It's like unless I kill, my family doesn't eat, right? I don't get pension money. I'm not in line for unemployment compensation. I don't play in that realm, right? If I don't kill, I don't eat. Meaning I'm out there every single day making something happen, creating something, doing something that is going to create a benefit, right? Always about providing benefits to people, and as a result of what I can provide, I receive compensation. That's what I mean by if I don't kill, I don't eat. But, you know, I live in this world of setbacks and comebacks. And the truest sense of accomplishment is not found in the realization of the goal. It's like, okay, so I want to get that house. Okay, I want to get that bank account. So, okay, I want to do this. Whatever it is, the truest sense of accomplishment is not found in the realization of the goal, but rather in the will to continue when failure breeds doubt. Boom. I love that, man. That's strong. And that's what you're talking about there, Earl. That kind of stuff, bro. All right, I'm climbing down off my high horse right now. 2959, it's your turn. 2959.
Carlos Rodriguez from New York City.
Good morning, Carlos. How you doing today?
Good morning. Great weekend, man. Great weekend for me. My teammates are making money, so that's a beautiful thing. Of course, the leverage that's built in the compensation plan is beautiful because working as a team, we all eat. Like you're saying, we all eat, we all kill, you know. There goes Carly Rose needing my attention. But, the beautiful thing about the weekend, as Kara mentioned before, what I do is I turn my traffic on no limit. Why? I get the most results on the weekend. So if you are able to turn your traffic on no limit, I advise you to go ahead and do that because you're going to see results. My teammates have seen results. I had a quality conversation with somebody that just needed some help. They wanted to hear a voice. Guess what I did? Because Traffic Authority gave me that confidence to pick up the phone and call. I called him, and he should be signing up today, the latest tomorrow. He's an ITT guy, and he knows his way around the computer, so I won't have to hold his hand or anything like that. He just told me, plug me in. I'll follow the system, and he should be ready to go. All in at, I believe, the highest traffic pack, and if not, he said he'll go in at gold. So I'm really, really excited. And one of the last things I want to say is I got myself a gift, but it's relevant to my business. I got myself the new Hero GoPro camera so I could record at least 1 or 2 videos a week because I got a lot of content that I need to get out, and I don't have the time to. I do have the time, but not to tell my full story here on the radio show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to blow you guys' minds. And it's not to feel sorry for me or anything, but I got so many things I need to get off my chest, and I can't always just do it here. So I'm going to record a nice professional video. I already have a guy that's going to record it. Yeah, I'm going to blow people's minds, and I'm just so excited, so excited.
Carlos, thank you very much for coming out here today, and congratulations, bro, on so many things that are going right for you. And, you know, this idea that you have right now with the GoPro camera of just making some video, you understand that this is what we talk about. This is what Darren talked about when he says building and relating to your list, right? Your story is so unique. Your story is so powerful. And I bet that there are hundreds of thousands of people that can connect with you on what you're doing, what's happening in your life, what you're going through, what it's like in NYC, what it's like having a baby girl that you just adore her. All of these things, you include this rather than just hammering people, selling people, sign up, go to the link. You
Absolutely.
know, really start talking about who you are, and that's when boom shakalaka happens, bro. You know that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, I thank everybody, all the ninjas, even everybody down in the Tallahassee office, Carl, Chad, and all of those guys, man. They're doing a great job, always helping us with any of our problems. So I appreciate everybody that shows love to Carly Rose, and everybody. It's just amazing to be a part of this beautiful thing.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Carlos. Have a good day today, man. See you soon.
Thank you.
On the radio very soon. You're welcome. There's Carlos checking in from NYC. We'll keep it moving now. 8696, you're next up. Good morning, 8696.
Good morning, everyone. This is Ken from home of the Steelers, Pittsburgh.
Ken,
How's
what's up, man?
doing?
We're doing good today. How are you today?
I'm trying to get over a cold. You know, I still got responsibilities I got to do, so I was already at the library. But I figured I wouldn't waste y'all time, and so you wouldn't, you know, so I just came back home. You know, because it's just right down the street, you know, so I can get plugged back in. Because you sent out the marketing page, so I've been going back to the basics. Because with this traffic, has created a lot of press for me for my other endeavors. So, well, what I really got to focus on is getting that income in, you know. So I went back, and I already pretty much almost completed the marketing stuff for the day. You know, because I was listening. I've been listening, but I've been so distracted, you know, with everything else, you know, money and, like, not being able to pay stuff and do little basic things that were so easy to me. But as a business owner, you know, that's a whole different ballgame. So it's like, how do I keep that stuff in line, you know, and coaching people, you know, people that are confused about different things or people that are feeling discouraged. You know, I'm sending them to my Will Smith videos, you know, my motivational videos that, you know, that got me through breaking down, you know, and just, you know, warn you because you war with yourself, you know, because you know in your mind you're like, wow, this is the best thing out there. And it's like, wow, you know, and I got so much leverage from, you know, just from an organizational standpoint of the community, you know, so if I can start to build communities, you know, within those different pages and not just be posting my stuff, you know, but actually communicating with people and, like, seeing what they're about and what motivates them and, you know, and I got that off of video, you know, so I'm just going back to the basics, and I'm going through everything that you've put on, everything that you said, everything, you know, that TA has to offer, I'm trying to be involved in, and now it's like I'm getting better at putting out proposals, because I was like, wow, if I can eliminate some of these extra expenses for myself, then what's stopping me from helping the next person? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, wow, if I can get into, like, merchant accounts and, you know, I got a lot of information. I'm just trying to stay focused on going through the training, because that's where it's at, you know, and I'm learning a lot of stuff, you know, and I was like, I learned something, then I go put it into play, and then I come back for some more information, you know. So
there it is.
I love y'all, man.
Thank you very much, Ken.
Ken from Pittsburgh.
Thank you very much, Ken, checking in from Pittsburgh. Get over that cold, brother. Get over that cold. Ain't no opposition to his position, Ken in Pittsburgh. He said a lot there, bro. Going through the basics, right? Just going through the basics. Go back to the basics. Fundamentals never go out of style. Period. End of story. Ken from Pittsburgh checking in. 4088, you're next up. Good morning.
Is that me? Come on, Mel.
Hey, come on. How you doing? Hey, come on out here.
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing good.
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm excellent. Thank you. What's happening?
All right, lots going on. I realized last week I gave a golden nugget and then didn't give no information on how to go about using it or where to go about seeing to get started. So what I want to do today is I want to drop some gems and give some encouragement and, some words of inspiration out there. I want people to know that I know some people started with Traffic Authority and, you see your leads come in, you seen the traffic come in, but you haven't closed anything yet. And I've seen some get discouraged, and, before they even get rolling good, they're already shooting themselves and ready to get refunds and all kinds of craziness. So I want you guys to say, look, weather the storm, stick with it. Do what's back there that's given to us, and it's going to work. You work it, it's going to work. So for my inspiration, for others, I want you to know that I've been in Traffic Authority for about 2 weeks, maybe I say now, maybe 3 weeks tops. But, I got in right when the traffic was slowed down and, things wasn't moving, so I had to wait. Last week is when my traffic actually really, really started moving, and I can say that I really, really started going hard in the paint with it. So with me going hard in the paint last week, I already got my first sale. So it didn't take me a month. It didn't take me, a whole bunch of extra stuff. It just took me working the system, doing what was needed, and then following through. Another thing, guys, I know it's a plug-and-go type situation, but at the end of the day, it's not. You do still need to talk to people. You need to close, basically. You should be able to at least close. You should be closing. And if you have the mindset like, look, I'm trying to close every single prospect that I get, then you're going to have more better results than saying, hey, I'm going to see if Get Response can close them. I'm going to see if my morning email can close them. I'm going to see if when Traffic Authority sends that email tomorrow, let's see if that'll close them, And then when it doesn't, you get mad and you go on Traffic Authority and start ranting, oh, it's not working for me. Well, what did you do to make it work? Because another thing, if you don't believe in what you're selling, well, how do you expect other people to believe in it? So people that believe in what they do, they're passionate about it. Like that old school vacuum cleaner salesman that came to your door. He was passionate. So that's why he was able to sell you something you didn't need. You didn't even need another vacuum cleaner. You have a vacuum cleaner. Or he sold you a bunch of encyclopedias that you never read. But he was passionate about what he was selling. So by him being so passionate, you got passionate. Wow, yeah, maybe I do need some encyclopedias. Didn't even read a book. You know what I mean? Might open it up one time. But that's the passion you need when you're getting at your prospects. Every day, you should be talking to at least one person every single day. And really, I say you should be talking to 5 or 10. But if you can't, at least be talking to one person every single day because you don't know what type of impact you're having on that person. People like to talk to people. People like to connect with people. I don't want to connect with a robot. I don't want to connect with a computer. I want to connect with other people. So I know if someone gets at me personally, it's going to have a much bigger impact than if I get an email or some generic email. Plus, people aren't stupid. A lot of people know that these emails are generic sometimes. They know that they're automated emails. So when someone's getting an automated email, it doesn't mean that the information isn't still valuable and they won't take action, but it does mean they might not just jump right away, though. It's like, okay, this is not personal. So this is why I stress that every single lead that you get, plug it into the system now I'm going to give you right now, okay? So, Jim, plug it into the system. Okay, find out what they're about because it does a couple of different things. For one, it's going to pull up every single social network that they're on, Pinterest, Foursquare, everything. Then it's going to give you their phone number if it's listed. That's valuable because now you can text people. Okay, then it's going to give you their full name, which I think is super valuable because now instead of just sending an email to a random person, I actually call them by their first name, which is valuable. I don't know if anybody knows about that psychologically, but it's huge, and it's important to always call somebody by their first name when you're dealing with them and talking to them, especially in business. It lets you know, like, wow, you actually remember my name, especially if you get it right. So I like to always be more personal. How you doing, Mary? How you doing, John? Reaching out to you. Okay, that's huge. That lets you know that, oh, this isn't just an automated email. You actually know who I am. Some type of way, you know who I am. So that's huge. And I actually think that's how I closed last week. So the name of this site is called peoplesmart.com. Okay, it's free for your first 10 email leads. You can plug in an email lead and then you can get the information. After that, it's $9 a month. But you can bypass that by just opening up another account. The way they have you open an account is very easy. They're using capture pages. So basically, you put in the email, put in your name, and boom, you get to go. I know I don't really like doing this because I don't like that. I want karma come back on me, so I would hate somebody doing this part in my capture pages. But I'm not gonna lie, I do this. What I do is I use just a generic name, generic email. It lets me in, and then after my first 10, 20 searches, and it says, hey, you got to, now you have to actually pay. I would just start a new account with another generic name, generic email, and just do it again. It's been working great. I've been able to get real people, like I said, Facebooks, connect with them. And I mean, I think it's a wonderful, like I said, nugget that I wanted to share with you guys.
Thank you, Quan. Thank you very much. That is a good nugget, and you do. I like it when you come out here because you do drop some nuggets. Peoplesmart.com is a place where you can go and you can actually get some information, so you actually know who the person is, what their phone number is. I love that. It's about a personal touch, right? Because we're numb. We aren't. I talked earlier today about just the avalanche, just like we're overwhelmed with stuff, right? You turn on the TV and it is just like there are so many commercial messages. Nowadays you can't even log on without somebody trying to sell you something. And how much email do we get? Take a look at your junk folder. I get like hammered, man. Hammered. I don't even go to my email half the time anymore. I'll log in and be like, I got 180 emails overnight. Oh, please. It's like another TV commercial, right? It's like enough. But I love your idea here. Personalize the experience, because if I'm opening up an email and I see my name in the subject line, I have a whole nother approach. Like, whoa, this person actually cares enough. They did. And thank you very much, Kwan. That is some very, very powerful stuff. Let's keep it moving this morning. 3359. You've been patiently waiting here for an hour. Good morning.
Oh my gosh, Joe! It's Sabrina Beckham. I'm on the radio. I'm so excited.
How you doing, Sabrina?
I'm good. I won, those headphones. I was one of the winners from Rebecca's team for the first drawing.
And aren't you like relatively new in the traffic authority?
I'm not even this is like the beginning of my second week.
How does that happen? How in your first week do you actually win a prize? How does that happen,
I did the thing. That's what you said. I did the thing.
Yeah, it's true. Welcome. How's it going?
It's going great, and it's so funny because that guy, I don't know his name, but he was talking about, that personal touch. And so, a couple of people, I have actually a lot of leads, so traffic is really flowing really good. And I called one of them because they left their name and number, and it's so much more important that we do still have to reach out. It's very true. And he should be also signing up, here in a day or so, because he just wanted more information. That personal touch is so important. And, you just have to be committed to the process, right? And then the results come. So I just wanted to, agree with that, and just say that I'm really just happy to be here. And I was on the phone with the visionary call Saturday, and it was just an amazing thing to hear where we're going, just to be a part of such a, monumental, start of history, right? To be a part of history, because that's what I feel like. And I just want to say thank you to you and to Rebecca, our team. This is like amazing, right? Abdullah, this is I'm so happy to be a part. And I'm just here to say, right, that it's real. If you do the thing, you can win.
Yes. Serena, congratulations, the winner of the Bose headphones. I got my eyes on those headphones too. I was like, ooh, I need to get a new pair of those. That's amazing. Congratulations. 1 week into our experience, into the traffic authority, and you're walking away with some headphones. It's amazing. It really is wonderful. I'm so happy for you, and just keep doing the thing. Keep plugging in.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, a real winner coming out on the radio. See, this is for real. This is really happening, right? It's just not some name we put on a piece of paper. It actually is a real human being. Sabrina Beckham, congratulations. Let's keep it moving. 0745, you're next up. Good morning. Hello, 0745, are you there?
Hello, Joe, can you hear me?
I can, yes. Who is this?
Hey, this is Daryl from Iowa.
Hey, Daryl, how are you?
Wonderful. I listen to the show every day. I don't get out on the call. I just wanted to say thanks for everything you guys do. I'm a little slow with the program, but I'm getting up to speed, and the information is just awesome. This is an awesome program. The community is great. The information that we're getting, it helps everybody, and I'm really glad to be here.
Daryl, thank you very much. And Daryl is one of my personal enrollees. Daryl has been around with us for a long time. Daryl, I'm really happy to hear you coming out here. Be sure to give yourself 3 big points, man. That's how you win the prizes, is by doing the thing, showing up to the radio show, do the daily exercises. Daryl Gale, thanks for coming out here, man. Congratulations. I'm glad that you're back.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Excellent. There's Daryl's been around. I've known Daryl for a long time. Excellent, Daryl. Thank you for jumping out here this morning. Let's keep it moving. 1650, you're next up. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe. Barry in Tucson. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Barry, I'm doing fine. Thank you very much, and I want to thank you for the comment on that simmer down. Remember those some people that were like our boy Kwan, he said, some people, they get anxiety. We found some people having anxiety, so I shot him a simmer down. And I saw you like that one. That was a good one, right?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. I love me some SNL. I know you do, too. That was just too funny, man. I had to comment.
Well, thank you, sir.
You bet. And speaking of Kwan, man, there he is the second time. Mm-hmm. If you're listening, Kwan, giving props to you again, man. Twice you've been on, and twice you've given us some good information. And Sabrina, man, that was killer to hear Sabrina come out. Congrats to you, girl. Way to go. You rock on. And, I'm glad to be part of this community, It's a great day.
It is a great day. And I love it when somebody like Sabrina comes on, right? Because all of a sudden we got this contest going, right? There's a contest that's going. And it's like, oh, there's a winner. It's like, hey, is there really a winner? I mean, it's the internet marketing. Who really knows what's going on the internet? And all of a sudden there's somebody come out and say, yeah, I was the winner. I love that.
Yeah, and she did it just by doing the thing, And
right.
That's just great, I saw, a few days back when her and Rebecca and the three of them won on their team. I mean, that was incredible. But last thing I want to say is I don't want to take up too much time, but you slayed me with your green eggs and ham, buddy. I'll never look at that book again the same way.
It's a good book, isn't it? When you think about it, right? You
take
it
I've never thought about it in that aspect, and you're right, though. He is a salesman, and he wins the guy over at the end. It's a great analogy, buddy.
It's true, and I borrowed that from somebody else, a guy that I know years ago. He was in the his business was shopping cart advertising. You ever go to the grocery store and you see they've got advertising on the shopping cart? Those are leads, by the way, okay? But I met this guy, and that's what he did, is he sold advertising on shopping carts. And he would bring in people like, ever go to those cattle call back when I was, I thought I can work for a living, a job. I remember going to those cattle call. You see an ad in the, help wanted section. It's like, make $100,000 this year, come to this, come to an interview. And I would go to the interview. There'd be like 50 guys in business suits, right? 50 guys trying to get this gig. And that's what it was. They were advertising for people who would be door knocking, calling on small businesses and selling this advertising to go into a shopping cart seat. And I remember one time this guy said, so he had you went through the first interview and he gave a bit of an overview of what it was, and you had to fill out some paperwork, and then he would invite you back for another interview. And then if you cleared through the second interview, then he would invite you back for training. And I remember you go in there for training, and that's what he would give you was a copy of Green Eggs and Ham. And he would say, here, read this, digest this. If you understand, I got a job for you. And so that's where I got. It's like, well, that is really the most profound. You want to talk about consistency, belief. You want to talk about winning over the customer and knowing that when winning over the customer, when somebody really is looking for traffic and traffic authority, when they're really hungry for real information, when they're really ready to get educated, is there a better opportunity than the traffic authority? And people eventually see it, and then they become like enrolled, right? Then they become ninjas. Okay, that's really Green Eggs and Ham, bro. It is. It really is. 7396, you're next up in the queue. 7396. I hate to do this to you.
Oh, no, wait, don't hang up.
Oh, so I woke you up there, 7396.
Am I there?
Yes, you're here. You're live. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Joe. This is Faith checking in from Torrance, California.
Good morning, Faith. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. I've got a couple things I just wanted to mention. Sure. First off, thank you so much for all the replay links. I work really long graveyard shifts, so I'm not able to get on any of the live anything. So I always look for the replay links, the replay of your live calls, the replay of your training, anything that's going on at my hour of work. I look for it on the replay. So thank you for always making sure we get the replays.
Welcome.
And then second thing was last night when I got off, last night I got on and I was able to put in a support ticket. And this morning it's already handled.
Ta-da! I love that.
Boom shakalaka.
Yes.
That's what I got to say about that is boom shakalaka. It's done. But I love what you guys do. I really appreciate everything going on. I'm not new. I just, like I said, I work crazy hours, night hours, so I can only do the live. And the only reason I'm on live today is because I was off last night. Mm-hmm. But I did want to thank you for that, and you're awesome. And I
well, thank
really
you very much. And I'm sending in a support ticket right now, and I'm letting people know. And I just said, are you listening? Faith submitted a support ticket last night, and today it's handled. Yay! I just got a shout-out back from Carl. Yay, see what happens when you just stay focused. Our team down there is working very, very hard. We're adding 2 more people this week to the support ticket. Ticket desk. Faith, thank you very much for coming out here this morning. Thank you for reporting that you submitted a ticket yesterday and it's handled today. And thank you for listening, okay? Thank you for showing up and doing the thing.
And
You're
thank
awesome.
you for not cutting me off before I got a chance to say boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka. Thank you very much for checking in. See, I got to be a little bit more patient with the dump button there. It's just that we got so many people in the queue. People have been waiting around here for well over an hour. But Faith, thank you very much for having faith in what it is that we're doing here. I'll see you at the top, okay?
10-4.
At 10-4. There we go. Next up in the queue is Aces, all ones. Good morning. You're calling in on Skype. Good morning.
Hello, it's Rebecca Bardess here. How are you doing? I'm phoning from England, Wiltshire, down the road from Stonehenge. Boom shakalaka from Stonehenge.
I love it. Can you believe it? You know, I'm sure that you were listening a short while ago when we heard from one of your girls. You know, we did. We had.
Oh yeah.
Sabrina was out here this morning.
Sabrina, she rocks.
Yes, she does.
Rocks. So I wanted to share something with everybody because I did something so stupid, and I want to make sure nobody else does this, but something good came of it anyway. So I screwed up, but it was still good. So basically, I sent some traffic to another company, to something that they were doing, and I didn't check the link, because I've used the link for years, so it didn't occur to me they changed the link. So I sent 80 clicks off to this other thing. Now, fortunately, I had it set up on my own domain, and it was defaulting to a generic page if somebody changed the link. But the generic page it was defaulting to was just an about page. There was no capture page on it. It was nothing. It was useless for sending traffic to. It was just, this is who I am, and this is some of the stuff I do, and some links. And I still got leads. So basically, wanted to say, A, check your links, because otherwise it's your fault. You know, if you randomly end up sending people to a blog post rather than sending them where you think you're sending them, your fault if you didn't check. And B, even if you do that, you'll still get leads.
Now, how did you get leads? How did that happen? And this is a good lesson, right? I know that we talk about this all the time when people first get started. It says pending link review, and it's pending link review to make sure that this is the kind of stuff that we can avoid at all costs, right? We want people sending into the abyss.
I think they must have changed. They must have actually changed it between when it was being reviewed and when the traffic started running, like the day it started running or something, because I'm pretty sure I would have checked, but I should have gone back and checked again, and I didn't. And this is what happened. So the reason I was getting leads, which even amazes me, was just because, you know, it was just a generic, this is what I do, blah, 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 but there were some hyperlinks in the text. That was it. And people were clicking the hyperlinks and going through and ending up somewhere on an opt-in page, and I still got leads. The thing is, I noticed that my opt-in rate went down. So I thought, something must be wrong. I'll go and check. So that's the other thing, is just keep an eye. If you're getting leads, but you're not getting as many leads all of a sudden, just check and make sure that the link hasn't been changed on you by some random company, because it can happen. So
yeah, well, it's a volatile, you know, it's kind of an unstable environment, the internet, right? You're working with companies, and you know, you're working with organizations, and sometimes they have changes and things happen, right? And it's impossible sometimes to be aware of everything that's going on. So yeah, double check, right? Always make sure that if you're sending or if you're redirecting, that those links are live and active. But once again, Rebecca, thank you for coming to the table this morning and sharing very transparently what your experience is. And I will say this, I was in touch with the traffic acquisition today, and currently about 15,000 leads a day, clicks a day are running right now, and that should be up to about 30,000 a day. So those of you who are running traffic, please be aware we have traffic is moving very, very, I mean, it is moving fast. So be monitoring your traffic and aware of how much traffic, we do have an opportunity. Everybody has an opportunity to kind of have a daily cap. But traffic is gushing. It's
so
gushing.
Valuable.
It's raging,
so
right?
Valuable. Mm-hmm. It's so valuable. That's just kind of business hygiene, isn't it? Set a cap, unless like the guy was saying earlier on, if you want to go crazy over the weekends or whatever and take the cap off, go for it. But I took responsibility for the fact that I screwed up. So you have to. This is the deal in entrepreneurship. If you screw up, you take responsibility for it, and you go, I'll learn that now. I know for next time. But set a cap. But set a cap that's above your comfort level. Because the chances are, maybe it's not going to hit that cap, but if it does, no big deal, right? But if something like this then happens, then you get a chance to kind of just go in once a day or go in once every couple of days and just check, is my link, if you're sending it outside of traffic authority, is it still working? Is it still the right link? But just so you know, even if you want to just send this to blog posts without opt-in forms, you still get leads as long as they're a hyperlink.
And I want to say that Diamond Dave in Tinley Park, Illinois, he's listening right now, and he just hit me up on Skype, and he reminded me that in the Traffic Optimizer section, for those of you who are Traffic Optimizer customers, there's something in there called Site Monitor. And that Site Monitor is a plugin that will let you know if you're sending traffic to a site that is no longer living on the internet. It will disrupt that, and it will let you know that you're sending to.
Using that.
Yeah, there it is. See, another tool that's built in. Thank you very much, David.
There you go. No, everyone has that story. Now you can use that story.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. But
Rebecca,
thanks so much for everything that you guys are doing. It's absolutely amazing. And, as you can tell from Sabrina earlier, I mean, you can tell from her tone of voice, what a leader, right? I mean, she is completely, she went above and beyond her comfort zone to get into this and did all kinds of stuff to get the money to get into this, immediately just went out there, won a contest. She's, like she says, she's, do the thing, get the win. I mean, that's basically what she's been doing. And, there's no better advice that I can give to anybody out there who's listening to this. If somebody's on this call and someone invited them here and they're not in yet, or they're just in they're just toe dipping, just do the thing and push yourself out of your comfort zone. Because the problem with staying in your comfort zone is you never grow there. The only thing that grows in your comfort zone, like if you don't do anything, it's just like mold. Seriously, you have to get out and move and clean things and expand and do cool stuff. And so, get out of your comfort zone and then just do the simple stuff. It's made so simple for you in the system, and it's amazing. You can turn things around really, really quick. And
it is true.
It's just awesome.
And Rebecca, and they're birds of a feather do flock together. I mean, it's true. And look at you, right? You've been out there on the front. You're a leader, and you're attracting into your world people just like you, like Sabrina. I mentioned this, I think, earlier on today's radio show. I mentioned it last week that we gave away 5 prizes last week, and of the 5, 3 of them went to you and to 2 others in your group. 3 out of 5 in the entire world, are part of that organization that you're building, because birds of a feather flock together. And so for those of you if you have your toe in the water, when you're building your business, you're going to attract people who put their toe in the water. And that's a very slow growth. You get out there and you think big and you play big and you stretch. Even if you're able to go, you think you can buy a basic, you just stretch and you get a bronze, okay? As a matter of fact, if you buy a basic, you automatically get a bronze if you're in your first 7 days. But my point, and to your point, Rebecca, is your comfort zone, you're playing at safe zone. If you're really looking for change, if you're looking for something big and something new and something fresh, consider that your best decisions are what put you in position to have to grow and get something new and get something fresh. So sometimes, all the time actually, you got to stretch. You got to think differently. You got to take a different approach. And the cool thing, and this is the truth, this is paint by numbers. Remember paint by numbers? Where it's paint by numbers. It's connecting the dots. It's all laid out here. It really is. There's no gambling here. And this is what Greg says. There is no gambling here. This is a business. This is a business, and you can build it the right way, and you'll have a long-term sustainable business. If you're coming in here with your last $300 and you need to make a bill next week, maybe, you never know. Sometimes people buy a lottery ticket and they hit. But the reality is this: you have to build a list. You have to learn how to communicate, how to monetize the list, and then you really become like, green eggs and ham. You become an advocate, and the next thing you know, it goes really, really quickly because you bring in other advocates and people who really, really want this and are willing to do the work. Rebecca, thank you for taking the time for coming out this morning.
My absolute
Wilshire,
pleasure.
all the way from.
All right, take care.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. We will. There's Rebecca calling in all the way from Wilshire, England. You guys know what Stonehenge is, right? The famous Stonehenge. Well, that's where Rebecca's calling in from. That's so cool, man. She takes the time to call in from the other side of the world. 1005. Is this Natalie?
This is.
Hey, how are you? Natalie Love checking in from the Chi. Good morning, Natalie.
I'm good. I was just talking about you actually because I heard you after I hung up on Friday. I heard you say something about the hot dog story. So I was like, I got to remember to tell him that when I talk to him on Monday.
Yeah, I was the other day. I was right in my neighborhood here, and there's a guy. It's like he's from the Chicago area, and he has a hot dog cart, and he had it down there right here in my neighborhood. They got the coolest thing. The world's greatest pumpkin carver has an exhibition down here by my right down the street from me. Okay, Martha Stewart says this guy is the Rembrandt of carving. This guy's world famous, like Museum of Modern Art in New York City. He just returned from Germany the other day. I met this guy, and there's this huge festival going on, and the Chicago hot dog guy parked his cart right out there. He doesn't even offer ketchup. As a matter of fact, those of you, I'm going to take a picture of the menu. There's no ketchup available. But, some of these individuals, it was Rebecca, actually, who just called us from England. She's referring to this as ketchup on a hot dog gate right here, this controversy that's raging in the traffic authority.
Yeah, I think it has to do with a long time ago, one of the all beef brands, they started that with, because you know how a Chicago hot dog is, style hot dog, is served relish, onions. And so there's this one place in Chicago where you go and they literally shun you. It's like going to one of those restaurants that they're super rude to you. They just look at you so awfully weird if you want to put ketchup on it. So anyways, that was one thing I wanted to say.
There was a guy. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
There was a guy that was running for office in the city of Chicago. He was running for one of these alderman gigs, right? He wanted to become a representative in Chicago. And part of his campaign was total honesty and transparency. And he ran an ad in the newspaper. And he said, in the spirit of total transparency, I want you to know that I once ordered ketchup on a hot dog, and I apologize for that. It was in jest, but it was like, if you're from Chicago, you know what I'm talking about with the ketchup. So thank you very much, Natalie. I can use the support because I was getting some pushback.
Another thing I was going to say to you, too. Remember last week when you recommended The Power of Now?
Yes.
Okay, so I actually got the audiobook. I started reading it, actually, at Barnes & Noble last week when I was listening to the call, and I cannot believe how crazy, things happen for a reason, right? I totally believe that. So, I love all the books that you talk about, but for some reason I just figured I would, get that on audiobook. The first, the introduction to the book of how his life was and what he was going through, that was me last year. That was totally me last year, and it was just so insane because I'm a huge firm believer that everything happens for a reason, and so I just wanted to say thank you. Today is my birthday, actually, and it was funny because you were talking about birthdays in the beginning of the show, so it's weird. Everything happens for a reason, I guess.
Well, Natalie, thank you very much, and happy birthday to Natalie Love in Chicago. And this is so weird. I want to tell you what is so weird. I love The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Maybe 10 years ago I came across that. I had it as an audio book on CD, actually. I had it on CD way back before iTunes was available and before Audible.com was available. And I've been talking about the book, and I saw Eckhart Tolle on Oprah Winfrey on Super Soul Sunday. And I was like, oh, The Power of Now, I got to get back to it. So dig this, okay? I just picked it up again for the third time on Audible.com, and I started listening to it on Saturday afternoon when I was sitting at Whole Food enjoying a smoothie. I started listening again to The Power of Now in my headphones, and I, like you, was blown away by the introduction. And then I went to that pumpkin festival, walking around listening to The Power of Now while I was enjoying my beautiful Saturday. This is synchronicity, right? How cool is that, right? Yeah, the power of now.
It's insane. It's insane. I mean, it was me. It was just insane. So, I mean, like I said, everything happens for a reason, and I'm such a firm believer that if you think positive, you'll get positive. I took all the negativity out of my life last year, all the drama, all the people that just were bringing me down. And you know, now I have, unfortunately, I suffer from fibromyalgia, which is a horrible, horrible condition to have. But, you know, a lot of times when I'm totally, like, cannot even get out of bed, I just think about it like, okay, my whole body is, like, shutting down right now, but it could be a lot worse. You know, I could have cancer, or I could not be here right now. You know, like, I just think of the positive, you know, think of the positive, and it'll totally change your life.
Natalie, thank you for checking in this morning, and yes, happy birthday to you. The power of now, right? There is nothing more beautiful than the power of right now, this exact moment. Can it get any better than it is right now? You have breath. Your feet are on the ground. You're on earth. You're listening to Natalie Love. In this exact moment, it is absolutely perfect. That is the power of now. And when you get down with the power of now and you understand how powerful that moment is and how in control, if there's such a thing, the power of now. We'll save that conversation for another day. 3365. Sounds like you're throwing some stuff around in there. What do you got? What's going on over there?
Hi, good morning. This is Mary Ellen from Connecticut. How are you today?
Great, Mary Ellen. How are you today?
Fabulous. I won't lose you. I wanted to mention, just like I've been on a phone call or two, usually I'm hanging out the window at work. I happen to take the day off, started it with a terrible migraine. The sun is shining. Life is better now. But excellent. My question, so just to know, sometimes people get off the phone and it's not their issue. It's a phone issue. But my question is, I got a text this morning out of the blue. So-and-so would like to buy leads from you, and I know it's not leads, but they specified for the healthcare area. And I just wondered how you would respond to that, just that the leads that we have are looking for any opportunity, or are we looking to get more specific?
All right, here's what we can do, okay? And thank you very much, Mary Ellen, for showing up here today. Mary Ellen in Connecticut, who normally works. I appreciate you coming here. And I'm going to put you on mute, okay, because there's some background noise there because of our connection. Here's what I'll let you know, okay? Like today we're running 15,000 clicks, give or take. By this time next week, we'll be running about 30,000 every single day. Do the math. That's about 1 million a month, okay? And I want you to understand that in this, where we live here, when I say live, I mean the Traffic Authority, we're really a gigantic co-op of emailers, right? What we do is we send email, personalized email, directly to people who we know they've identified themselves as people who are in the business of business opportunities. Most of these individuals, there are 18 million people, according to the Direct Selling Association. There are 18 million people. According to the Direct Sellers Association, look it up, 18 million people in North America are in a work-from-home business. And in my life, ever since I've been in the industry, people who are working from home, part of their plan working from home is recruiting, is bringing people to the table, okay, bringing people to the table who are also looking for a home-based business. So we know that they're out there. And we know that they're out, and so what we do here is at the Traffic Authority, that is who we target. Okay, when you're buying clicks, you know, the goal is that we're going to send clicks. We're going to send, and a click is, here's what a click is. A click is someone receives an email or they receive something, okay? You can post on Facebook. You can do other things. We're going to talk about LinkedIn. We're talking about Instagram. You know, people are looking to get clicks. They're looking for traffic. They want people to look at what their site is, what their deal is, what their offer is. We know who those individuals are. We know where they are. And what we do is we send them email. And the email is written well, and it's very, very interesting. It's engaging. And the goal is to get those individuals to click. What they do is they actually click a link in the email that takes them to a website. If they click one of your websites, if you're in Traffic Authority, they're going to be going to one of your Traffic Authority websites, which, as you know how cool those are. Most of us here have responded to those. So as far as niche marketing, and I think that's what you're asking about, Mary Ellen, you know, we have yet to isolate, okay, who is only looking for essential oil? who is only looking for health and wellness. We take this is like buckshot, right? This is we are approaching everybody who we know is looking for a business opportunity. They're looking to make money from home, and so that's who we are. That's who we are targeting. Okay, but that being said, anybody, like whatever business you're in, you know, if you're online looking to generate revenue, if you're online with a home-based business, then you're looking for traffic, and we can show you where to get people who are open to the idea that a home-based business is a viable option for them. And I hope that answers your question. Thank you very much, Mary Ellen from Connecticut, checking in. 4866, you're next up. Good morning.
Hello, Joe. This is Roger in San Antonio.
Hey, Roger. How are you this morning?
I'm pretty good. I just need this call in the morning. It gets me going. It's just all these great people.
It's amazing.
I don't have much to say, but I just wanted to check in.
Well, thank you very much, Roger. What I'm going to ask you to do is go over there and post on Facebook the fact that you did check in and what you've learned here today, and give yourself some points. I think that's a 5-pointer, isn't it? Is that what it is? It's 3 points for the daily marketing plan, 3 points for the radio show, and a big 5 points if you post on Facebook. So go post exactly what you're thinking and how you're feeling about this morning on Facebook. And I want to thank you, Roger. You will have the last word this morning. I want to thank Roger and Mary Ellen and Natalie and Rebecca and Faith who called in this morning. Also want to thank Bert who started us off today. I want to thank Holly. Holly, we got your thing straightened out. I want to thank Steve and Frank and Earl and Carlos and Ken from Pittsburgh. Kawan checking in. What a great idea. PeopleSmart.com. Sabrina, only here for 2 weeks, has already won a prize. I want to thank Daryl. I want to thank Barry in Tucson again. Happy birthday to you, Natalie Love. Happy birthday to Napoleon Hill. And happy birthday to the Family Guy. I will say that is one of my favorite cartoons. Listen, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on RadioLeverage.com, coming to you with Traffic Report. I want to remind you guys, Facebook is where it's happening. I'm going to be posting the link to the article about Napoleon Hill on Facebook. Give me 5 minutes. Go ahead, give us a comment, give us a post. How about shooting some video? How about shooting some video if you really want to get some points? Again, I want to thank you guys for taking the time here this morning. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. Until then, show up on the Facebook page, watch your email, and remember, there's another really big, cool webinar coming out tomorrow night. We're going to be doing a reseller training. Watch for that link so you can register. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, make it a great day. Let's go play in traffic, and always look both ways before crossing.